Hey, hey everybody. Feeling a little frosty today. I was going to interview my daughter, and she just doesn't feel like it. She actually came for a visit in order to take care of her dad, knee replacement surgery. He's okay, but it's been kind of a difficult process, and she's just kind of wrung out. So Gina asked a really good question because she and I were going to do our thing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to put you off because my daughter's here, and I'm all last minute." And so, anyway, Gina and I trying to hook is going to be dicey and spontaneous because it's influenced by the five of diamonds, and everyone goes like this. You guys know that there's a frequency there, and it's going to affect whatever you're doing. So maybe there is some sense to choosing your wedding date or the birth of your induced pregnancy or whatever. Anyway, but Gina asked a really compelling question about crystals in my relationship, and it's actually something that I've contemplated for quite a while. Um, the transformation card. I call it is it the one I call the person I no, it's not. The next card is the one I call the personal ideal, but the transformation card is just past. It's Pluto and then four cards and then one more, I think. But anyway, the transformation card. I am Crystal's, and Crystal is mine. How are we each other's? And it's ascending and descending. It's really tricky. And so, Seven of Diamonds, Eight of Clubs have a very complex relationship, very intense. And so, if you're one or the other, whenever you meet the other one, um, sparks are going to fly. It's going to be really intense. And Crystal and I had an exchange recently that um, really typifies the relationship that we have. I think that when you choose to be conscious, it ends up being deeply rewarding, tremendous catalyst for growth. So we came in juxtaposed in opposite corners of the boxing ring, so to speak, and perfectly matched. Um, and it's really funny. We look and sound very much alike. And when we laugh together, and we've laughed a lot during this visit, the little cadence of your laugh, ha 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 ha, it's always exactly parallel and the same tone, which just makes us laugh more. It's so cute. So, anyway, we'll be talking about that some other time when Crystal feels up to it, and it will give me another opportunity to fix up Zoom to YouTube, which I've done before. I just have to watch a few more tutorials. So I decided on the next king for today, the King of Diamonds. And I was like, okay, what am I going to pull out of the hat this time? And my guides, thank God I have guides. I don't know what the hell I would do. But they said, oh gosh, two thoughts. This will be affected, this whole conversation is going to be affected by the King of Diamonds, as well as what today is, which is February 10th. Oh, what is it? What is it? I don't know what the card is for today. Somebody tell me. Anyway, um, so my guide said, look at the King of Diamonds ascending hand. And I don't know if you have this experience, but it's, I think, a part of the brain that reads symbols, but there's an abstract quality about it, such that each time you look at the symbol, you get something different. Someone's joined. Brenda, hi. Oh, Two of Spades. Thank you so much for popping on and being like, this is my card. So you're not the Eight of Clubs. For some reason, I'm associating you with the Eight of Clubs. Eight of Clubs is Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. Saturn card to the King of Diamonds, which means I induct it into the Circle of Eight. If you have a Circle of Eight card, or I mean Circle of Seven card in in Saturn or Pluto, I just think you're going to have come up with that group. So anyway, the King of Diamonds. We can tie that together with the Eight of Clubs. But the reason hi Jeannie, The reason I put the question, are they going to be yin or yang, is because when I looked at all of this, I don't know, and I can't pull it up again, but I was just looking at their yang hand, and I noticed a couple of things. One, look at the direction that the two kings are looking. Like the king of hearts isn't looking straight to his left. He's looking a little bit like this, kind of like the king of diamonds is looking straight westerly or whatever onto the descending line of Mars, is what I would call it. Whereas the king of hearts is kind of like, no, no, like he's not so direct. The Mars energy is very da da da. This is what we're doing. So this is the king of diamonds, but this is the king of hearts. And I think he can be persuaded by the king of diamonds to get on board, and we're going that way and we're doing this shit. I've known a number of king of diamonds in my life, and they can get in that mode where Mars doesn't care about people. It cares about getting the shit done. So the King of Diamonds can choose to be influenced by that incredible locomotive of energy and directive. And definitely the masculine, the yang energy, will be greatly affirmed by this culture, by the messages around what men are supposed to be. And this is an interesting thing. Think about this. We'll bring this in later. King or diamond males who are even cards or who are located in kind of Mars friendly zones tend to really align with that king of diamonds, and that's just, or they're more clearly their own card because they don't need to borrow that king of diamonds. But the odd cards, the odd diamonds, like the three of diamonds, or what's another diamond? Seven of diamonds, like a seven of diamonds male, or a nine of diamonds male. Very good example. They will align themselves with their personality card, the king of diamonds, because that's just more socially acceptable. And they're like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do as a man. Well, how I'm supposed to be. And so it can be a little extreme or even put on. But what if those men got into the ascending hand of the King of Diamonds, which goes up to Venus and has a lot of odd cards in it, and they decided to trust their quirkiness, their unconventionality, and to go with maybe the more intuitive bumps that they get about leadership and task. And so, an example, my very dear friend, and I've mentioned him before, King of Diamonds, June 4th, he was obese as a child and got teased relentlessly. I think he had a Native American relative that gave him the name Two Axes or something like that, and he's a Gemini, so that's kind of cool. But he ended up losing all the weight, becoming like a fitness coach, Pilates, competitive bicyclist. And when he was the leader of his teams, they gave him a nickname, Buddha. And it's simply because even if he was just borrowing from the speech of spiritual traditions, because it didn't strike me that he had a very conscious spiritual practice, but he was inclined to know that there's magic there. And I think part of that is having Jack of Spades in Jupiter. There's like this knowing we can use the magic, and it can be done very unconsciously and in or out of integrity. We know how that Jack of Spades can go, but they understand the magic of the whole shamanic thing. And then the Eight of Diamonds, I think, or Eight of Clubs get in Jupiter, gives them access to a lot of wisdom. But they're all odd cards, face cards, very powerful. What happens if the King of Diamonds puts the Six of Hearts in their moon pocket and goes in the ascending direction? Then their speech, communication, the interface, the social interface. Oh, I love the energy the King of Diamonds is giving me. It's just like such skillfulness with language. Thank you. Your Mercury card is your social interface. It's like your ascendant, where it's kind of like this is what people see and feel and experience when you interface with them. Oh, sorry, God, these cameras do to your hair. It's just so annoying. I should just put a hat on. Anyway, that when the King of Hearts becomes their voice and their interface, it says, I care about you, and you are the most important thing to me, not getting shit done. They turn away from that Mars. So here's the King of Diamonds. I don't know if this is reversed for you guys, what the image looks like, but here he is marching along, like right here, looking at the Mars line. And if he turns around and goes the other direction, there's a real reversal that has to happen, I think. And then he begins bumping up into the Venus line, and the King of Diamonds then begins to understand, oh, it's all about relationship. I know a King of Diamonds. This is Jeannie. I know a King of Diamonds that is an incredible cardologer. Also, my big kid's godfather is a King of Diamonds. Awesome. The Aqua one, and he used to do a lot of community work and events. He used to also play tennis, and now he's campaigning to be the mayor of his little town. They're supremely confident, right? Because the emotional launch pad is determined by the descending moon. So in his case, the King of Diamonds has the King of Hearts in their launch position. Three of Hearts has the King of Spades in their launch position. Any card that has a king, so my sister-in-law, Six of Hearts, had the King of Diamonds in her launch position. Incredibly confident. So that is just such a great profile. What do you mean? The Aqua one, he used to do a lot of community work. Is he an Aquarius? And what is today's day? I mean, I don't have immediate access to it right now, but February 10th, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it Two of Spades? Oh, Two of Spades? Is that today? I think that's what Brenda was trying to tell me because I'm pretty sure she's the Eight of Clubs. Yeah, okay. So if the King of Diamonds goes up, their voice becomes the King of Hearts. Okay, yes, the Aquarius one. So is it Abraham Lincoln's birthday, which is just right around the corner, right? 3 days away. Yes, thank you guys. So his planetary ruler descending is the Six of Diamonds, very balanced, a sense of order, karma, destiny. And the ascending Uranus is the Five of Spades. So perhaps a taste for adventure, a taste for the novel when he's in his ascending. Let's have fun with this. Hey, how about if I go into politics? That'd be kind of weird. Or whatever. Okay, so then the Venus card is the ultimate relationship card. They're going for the yin connection of heart and intimacy with Two of Hearts in Venus ascending. Oh, Brenda, I'm the Aquarius one, also birthday in 2 days. Oh, awesome. Brenda, okay. I can't believe it. How perfect that you're going to help inform us about the King of Diamonds because, okay, now this brings a whole other thing. Is the female King of Diamonds more likely to choose the ascending hand? Because she's going to be a little bit of a round peg in a square hole. She's going to have that Mars thing. I want to go corporate. I want to manage. I want to work in the system. I'm going to do big things. I'm like really confident. But then she gets in the whole whatever corporate realm and it's like, ooh, like this is kind of icky. And maybe not being treated with the wholeness that she brings to the table, the right brain, left brain integration. So she's going to want to go in the ascending hand. So tell me about what is it like for you in terms of relationships? So that Two of Hearts and Venus, what is your relationship to vulnerability? I think that's one of the key questions as to whether the King of Diamonds is going to ascend or descend. And they'll do both. Everyone does both every day. Yeah, question of vulnerability. And it's also intuitively, I feel like it's taking a giant step back into oneself and saying, what do I want? What do I need? What is really important to me? Because sometimes it's going to be the task, and sometimes it's going to be the relationship. Jeannie, wait, no, the Godfather is the Capricorn, King of Diamonds. Oh, good. Good. That'll give us some comparisons. So he's also the 8 of clubs. So isn't that crazy? Like regarding, Jeannie having a really great question regarding my daughters and my relationship, who is an 8 of clubs. Yeah, I love that. So that's really fun. Okay, so his ascending Mars as an 8 of clubs is the 4 of clubs, wanting to bring knowledge and reason. Anyway, I don't know why I went there. Let's move on to the ascending Mars. So ascending Mars for the King of Diamonds is 9 of spades. So here's my very loved up version of the chart. So we've gone King of Diamonds over here, Mercury, Venus, Mars. I'm having to do this backwards. Mars and Jupiter. I can't believe I never saw this before. I have in common with the King of Diamonds that Mars and Jupiter are both 9s. Mine are just reversed. 9 of spades, Mars, 9 of clubs, Jupiter. So 9 of spades, the way I've experienced these 9s in these very masculine positions. Mars, what are you going to do? How are you going to take action? What are you going to get mad about? Oh, Brenda, I'm sorry, I received an important call when you were asking a question. Okay, so I was asking you, I love that you said that. I was asking you, what is your relationship to vulnerability and task versus relationship? Are you pretty balanced with that? Do you feel a polarity? Do you feel kind of integrated? Because then when you bring in the Queen of Diamonds, it's a shit show. It's like a totally different, it's like saying, like, I was born in Africa, but I was on a military base. You get these two embedded, vastly different things. Okay, so going back to having 9 of spades and 9 of clubs in these very masculine houses of Jupiter and Mars. Mars is saying, "What are you going to do? What are you going to get angry or passionate about?" And the and then Jupiter is, how are we going to expand and make it bigger and allow our blessings to flow into the world? How am I going to be the father energy to those around me? So they're very big energies, with a lot of confidence, drive, yang energy. And to have 2 9s in that position, okay, I need to know, do King of Diamonds go through some kind of personal identity crisis, or like, I don't know what I'm going to do next? Because 9s will bring a sense of vagueness. And that's how I understand Mars and Jupiter, and I'm sure that my own astrological chart really contributes to this, because my Jupiter is in the 10th house, which is Cancer. My chart is upside down, and Mars is also there. Mars and Jupiter are in Cancer for me. So it really emphasizes the fact that it emphasizes the 9 energy. So I'm just wondering if King of Diamonds is a thing, if one of the challenges when they decide to go spiritual or yin or integrating both sides, are they going to take that 9 energy and transcend? Are they going to say, okay, what needs to go, go? What needs to come, come? Are they willing to do that big kind of house cleaning? That's kind of how I'm framing it. And God, that's a limited framework. So let's see what Jeannie says. It's giving confident teachers, 9 as a teacher. They do not know what they want to do. They're the king of resources, so they end up with a lot of avenues as to where to lean, and they try a lot of different things. I like that, because I think when they are really confident, they can just be like, I'm going to try this now, I'm going to try that. And they very often are in a teaching or coaching, mentoring, that's the word, mentoring role, because they just see the importance of investing in other people. It's so cool kind of to come into the house, not the physical house, but the energetic mental house framework of a King of Diamonds or a King of Hearts. And you just feel this, don't compare yourself, because not everybody has this, but it's like you've entered their kingdom, and they have that sense of leadership and power is equal to responsibility and duty. It's a position of service, and you can just kind of feel that way. And they're like, "What am I going to do with my resources? Because I've got them this time around, and I have choices about where to put them." So I like this. I like this conversation. Jupiter is the teacher archetype. Okay, so the nine of clubs, like they would be the archetypal, like Archimedes or Merlin, or like that mentor that's gonna help you reach into the ethers. I own a home care, healthcare business, and relationship is okay, but kinda at a crossroads. Okay, so you busy girl, you very busy. And it sounds like your life is one where you have to find balance between those two and really integrate those two, because you will never not feel the call of that king of diamonds to, and I just want to keep using the word house, to house people, mainly people, ideas, enterprises, tasks. Um, yeah, and I wonder if they ever have a moment where they're like, it's just down to me, because they don't really have any aces other than the ascending two of hearts slash ace of clubs. Okay, Saturn, jack of hearts. So is your Saturn return at 29 and 58, is that going to be marked by having to make a sacrifice for either your children, someone younger than you, feeling like it's just gonna hurt. Whatever the growth that's gonna happen, it's gonna be around people, and it's gonna hurt. So it might involve betrayal or a real ending of some kind, or divorce or something. But that Jack of Hearts, I see that in the King of Diamonds, who have really stepped into their role as the deeper mentor and teacher, who really kind of answer that question. Are they going to skate along the surface and do this easy Mars dance that the United States and the whole world wants to do all the time? Or are they going to take some inventory? The Six of Hearts in the moon position, ascending, means they're going to take some emotional responsibility for their own shit. They're going to do their work. And then they can turn their sights on, you know what, people are the most important thing here. And is it going to take the crisis of the Jack of Hearts somehow to be the presence of Christ? So in the ascending, I have to keep reminding myself it's about how you show up. Brenda says, yes, definitely. About the integration and having to juggle those two things. So am I going to lose my thought that I just had? Oh, yes. In the ascending, I have to remind myself that the Saturn doesn't just show up as a struggle or a crisis. It has more to do with um, setting other people on their path of purpose, having to work at or define something, having to really struggle with something in order to really pass that on to other people and say, this is the formula. Today, I'm the happiest with that definition of ascending Saturn. This is the nut I've had to work through, and now my service is to give guidance about that. Oh my gosh, really? Um, you're turning 60 on Thursday. So we're both fire horses. Are we in the year of the fire horse yet? Chinese calendar. Don't you just love how you just have this infinite source of information? It's not always right, but Chinese New Year 2026. Chinese New Year, February 17th. Oh my God. So it's a week from today. So you're not a fire horse. You are whatever 65 was, which is snake. It's the year of the snake. It's a yin snake. Oh my gosh. Okay. Snakes are psychic and sensitive, if I got that right. Dragon, snake, horse. Yeah, I do. Okay. So, does anybody else want to weigh in on the King of Diamonds? Stop it. Oh, good. Lily's going to join us. Trying to get a bunch of us together. Um, want me to zero in on the moon cards. Okay, so I do this kind of thing where I look at the moon Mercury, which trade. It's the one card in your hand that's going to stay in your hand. If you go ascending or descending, it'll just change from the moon to the Mercury or vice versa. So the descending moon card is the King of Hearts, which is much more about it's much more about, or no. So we have to answer the question, Brenda. When did the fire horse year begin in 1966? It was before February 7th. It was before February 12th, right? That's interesting. So how is this year for you so far? It's like, oh my God, I feel so much change coming, but it hasn't come yet. Maybe it's because it's not the fire horse year yet. I don't know. But yeah, that's so cool. Anyway, so the King of Hearts in the moon position, I think, is a taking for granted um, of confidence. And like, why would anyone have self doubt? This is where the king attitude of like, I don't know why you don't get it. Like, oh my God, why doesn't she just blah, blah, blah? Like the answer is so obvious. And I think that when they're immature, being kind of a double king like that, they don't get that, hey, not everybody came in with the king duo thing. Okay, maybe you're a seven of diamonds. Maybe you're a seven of hearts. Maybe you've got something else you're dealing with. And so you've taken on a nature. And this is something that I think the personality is just as temporal as the body. And when you leave it, you retain some characteristics of your spirit because spirits are unique in their personality ish, but the personality, the mind's personality complex, this temporal thing, it's a package. They're all kind of interdependent on each other, like your brain chemistry, your personality, and it's very intentionally chosen so that you're going to work on something. So you might come in with a really quick temper, whereas in the spirit, you don't really have a quick temper. You've taken that on to work with patience or something like that. You're feeling the energy. Yeah, I am too. It feels like I can hear the crackling of a brush fire that is sweeping across the plain way over there, and I smell it every once in a while, but it's not here yet. Yeah, big changes. Like, and it's not just for us, right? Like that's the whole planet right now. And it just keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and more absurd. um, so yeah, that's kind of how I see that King of Hearts in the descending position. But the ascending position, like I said before, the contrast is that the Six of Hearts is that they're going to take emotional responsibility for things. So this applies to any diamond, male or female, odd or even, when you're in a position of running your business. Technically, I could say that's me right now. As a seven of diamonds, I'm kind of running my business right now. So, am I going to be taking responsibility for my stuff and showing up with humility and compassion, and then speak with maturity and tact? That's the King of Hearts. This is like a big download for me. It's like that's been one of my challenges is how to speak very carefully with tact and to rise above. And I think for the most part, I've done a good job of that on this channel, but I have really stuck my foot in it as well. So that's just part of that whole learning curve of learning to speak with the King of Hearts voice. Okay, so does anybody have anything else? I think I'm going to cut it short and see where my daughter's at. And she and I will schedule, and we'll figure it out how to help me figure out that whole Zoom thing. And then maybe following that, well, Jeannie and I have decided that we're going to do our Five of Diamonds extravaganza spontaneously. And strangely, every Five of Diamonds that wanted to watch it will just happen to be able to see it because that's how they are. Let's throw some cards for today. If you want me to throw a card for you, let me know. We've got a really small group here right now. So I can throw a card for you. If nobody wants to be exposed personally, then we'll just throw cards for us. Okay. Okay, I'm getting to just throw a card for all of us that are here. Seven of Clubs. Be discerning and avoid the negativity that's available now. Instead, take a step back. There is the Jack of Spades is karma to this. So Jacks represent non-attachment. And I think if you don't practice non-attachment with this card, you're just going to get kind of swept up, and Jeannie can tell you all about this. You're just going to get swept up in a maelstrom of potential, negativity and all the tapes and stuff like that. I mean, but this is also the genius and the intelligence card. So take advantage of that Jack energy embedded in there and just take a step back and have some non-attachment. And I'm getting the image to just sort of like pick up the soil and feel it before you like just buy into something. I don't know what that might mean for you, but that's the image I'm getting. The second card is the Ace of Diamonds. These are Uranus to each other. So there's a genius relationship. This may be emphasizing and giving a nod to the genius aspect of the Seven of Clubs, that you have that available to you today. And the Ace of Diamonds is a new beginning, giving yourself permission to value something, put more value on it than you have in the past. Like when you finally get to the age and the level of maturity when you take a day off because you feel like you might be about to get sick and you're not going to push through, and you're getting the message, downtime is valuable. I'm going to take a wellness day off. So isn't that fun? And Chanel paint. I'm so sorry. I don't know what that means. And the third card, Jeannie, go ahead and tell me what that is. King of Spades. Wow. Is this a message about kind of seeing the cosmic wholeness? It's like allowing yourself to experience something brew with no rhyme or reason. Allow the information to come in and ride that wave. Oh, I love that. That Seven of Clubs energy is what you're talking about, as I was pairing it with that Jack of Spades energy, which is I think someone called that apprehension instead of comprehension, where you just sort of percolate, and that's what's required in order to understand the cards. That kind of knowledge. And the reason I'm holding this up is because before I came live, my guides are like, look at it, and I looked at the symbols, and that part of my brain that reads symbols just got something, because I'm able to put my logical mind aside, and I've honed that skill of listening with exactly what Jeannie's talking about with that. Because that Seven of Clubs is as a Nine of Hearts, it's my descending Mercury, but it's also putting it in my back pocket as yeah, I have done that. It's my ascending moon. Okay. Oh, channel like medium, shapeshifty. Okay. Channel. Like channel paint, like when you're painting and you're just channeling. I'm guessing that's the connection you're making. I like that because that's just so, I know you're an artist, and I know that's how you produce art. So that's what makes sense to me. Okay, you guys, thank you for being with me. This was really sweet. I really like this, even if it was just our little group. So you can look forward to me interviewing Crystal sometime probably next Tuesday. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And Jeannie will just, we might not even go live on a Tuesday. We might just say, hey, you got time? And it might be like a Friday at 5 or something. I don't know. Probably not. That's too late for both of us. Okay. Well, have a good day, you guys. End stream. Bye.